Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a fantastic start to your week. I am Janice Thornton with JT Fitness and Golf. I'm an online personal trainer specializing in golf fitness, weight loss, and just general fitness. And one of the things I love to do is interview my friends and their different businesses because I never know who my friends can help. So today I have the pleasure of inviting Heidi Thompson. She is with Lifeguarding Legacies, and she's an attorney who does estate planning and wills and trusts. So welcome, Heidi. Welcome to my show, and I'm so
Thank
glad that
you for
you're
having me on.
here. Okay,
I'm
so
so glad to be here. Thanks.
well, good. So okay, Heidi, let's talk about why we need to have a trust and why not just allow, like, if you pass away, why not just say, oh, well, my kids can take care of it and go through probate.
Well, I'm going to just make the presumption right off the bat that you love your kids. um,
Yeah.
if you really do have a bad relationship with your kids, you absolutely could do nothing and they can come clean up the mess. That is totally an option. In general, I don't recommend it. I'm going to presume that you want to leave, as you've done good things for them all your life and you've been a great parent and you've taken care of them. This is one more way to show that you love them. You want them, when you pass, to look at you with that nostalgia and love and kindness and gratefulness for all that you've done during your lifetime. Going out with a final message of, I didn't care enough to fix this, is not really the way that you want to send that last message. The last message is, I wrap this up with a neat little bow, just like I did so many other presents during your lifetime.
Nice. I love that.
So presuming you love your kids, you really should take care of it. So why do you need a trust? Well, I can tell you, if we were in California or in Florida, the only advice you would ever get from me is you need a trust. Probate there is a nightmare. It will eat up 10 to 15% of your estate, sometimes more. It'll take up to 2 years to close. It's a nightmare. If you, like me, are lucky enough to live in Arizona, it is not a nightmare. Probate here, for the most part, if nobody is contesting anything and it's pretty straightforward, it's a 6-month process. It's still going to cost about $3,000. It's still going to tie up your assets for that 6 months. It still is a headache that you don't want your families to go through, but it's not the end of the world like it is other places. So a lot of attorneys will say, you need a trust because of probate. And I'll say, a trust, if you fund it, does avoid that process for your family. So it's kind of a pay now or pay later. The nice thing is, if you choose to pay now and do a trust, not only do you avoid probate, you also get stupidity protection for your kids. You also, which we'll talk about a little bit later, you get the ability to set some parameters around what you want your kids to do with that money. You can distribute money over time instead of lump sums. You can set conditions. There's just all kinds of great things you can do with a trust. And it really creates great protection. It's like another layer of insurance for your kids and for that inheritance. So there's a lot of good reasons to have a trust. To me, probate isn't the only one. It's a nice one, but it is not the only one. Um, that kind of brings us to probably another question, the wills and trusts
Well,
question.
I was going to ask, what's the difference between a will and a trust?
I would, yeah, that's probably my most common question in this business because people really don't understand. Their parents had a will, they're hearing about these trusts, they don't really know what they are. There are two very different ways that accomplish some of the same things, but the trust accomplishes more. So when you think about a will, this is what you traditionally saw in all the movies. Someone says, my last will and testament, I'm leaving all of my worldly goods to someone, and they list their name, or to a series of people to split equally, or something like that. That accomplishes that purpose. It helps you get those things to those people as one lump sum when you die. Here's the thing. If you don't have a plan to get those things to people automatically with, like, payable on deaths, beneficiaries, certain deeds, things like that, those will go through the probate court. Even though you have a will, the will be the letter to the probate court that says, this is how I want things to go. So that's what a will does. A will is a guide to the probate court. It's a letter that will suffice for that. A trust is an entirely different thing. A trust is like setting up a business, and you're putting things into the business. And whatever the business owns, you no longer on paper own, even though you can sell it transfer it,
Right.
do what you want with it during your lifetime, you no longer on paper own it, which means it's not going to die when you die. So it doesn't go to probate.
Gotcha. Well, I know
So
it's
that's,
weird on
yeah,
it's like on checking accounts, we have our Thornton Family Trust and
yep,
things are, it's kind of odd sometimes to see that though, not see my name on there. But yeah, so it's that same thing. So good to know. It still keeps
yeah,
going, even though
yes,
something happens. Okay.
exactly. And in Arizona, it can go up to 500 years.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So what are some mistakes though people make when it comes to estate planning?
Oh, there are just so many. There are so many
Do you have
mistakes.
4 hours? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right. I actually do give a 30-minute talk on the five most common, but we're not going to do a 30-minute talk today. You can find that on my website, by the way, which we'll talk about at the end. But here's a shortcut. We'll call it a teaser trailer, okay? One is joint accounts. People will put a child on a joint account thinking that way it's theirs. Great. Until they get sued in a car accident, because then it becomes attachable in that lawsuit and you just lost everything in your savings. Same thing if you put a kid joint on a house, joint anything with a non-spouse is just a bad idea. So
Okay.
that would be the first one. A lot of people think that's a way to trick out and get around probate. Yeah, you save on probate. Instead, you could lose everything. I'd much
Oh,
rather
that's
have probate.
scary. Yes, no kidding.
So yes, joint anything is just a really bad idea. That's the first mistake. The second mistake is not taking advantage of easy ways to pass things other than joint. So your every bank has the ability to go to an account and put a payable on death person on file for that account. That means that when you die, that person gets access to that account. It's a signature card you're filling out. It is so easy. And then that automatically passes. They have no rights to it during your lifetime. If you have a bad relationship with them, you go and change your POD. It's not a problem. I recommend payable on deaths for every account.
Hmm.
The other thing you can do is make sure that all of your IRAs, all of your investments have a beneficiary that's up to date. And remember, you can leave things to your spouse as the primary and to your kids as secondary, which means if your spouse is deceased, then it goes to your kids. So it's a great way to set up your beneficiaries and have that taken care of. So planning for things to go automatically is really good estate planning.
Mhm.
Um, I would also say, I know Google is fantastic. I know you can go into Google and find anything you want, but going into Google and typing will and then doing it yourself would not be something I would recommend. I don't say that just because I make money helping people. I say that because you don't know if it's really updated to your state. You don't know how old the form is. You don't know if it incorporates current law. There have been changes. 2019, there were some big changes. So,
Okay.
um, you know, which leads me to the next mistake, which is make sure you get updates. Every 3 to 5 years or with every major life change, you should be looking at your plan, making sure it still works with you.
Mhm.
Those are a couple of the big ones. There's definitely more, so we'll just call that a teaser.
We'll call that a teaser. Absolutely. So what sets you apart from other estate planners?
There are really two major things. Okay, there are a lot of us that use Wealth Counsel, which is a really good planning tool. They're really tried and tested documents. They're always up to date with current law. They're revisiting them in each state routinely to make sure that they exactly express what we want under the circumstances. So it's a good core set of documents. We also have excellent training and an excellent community. So if we have a question, because we don't know everything about everything, we've got a great community of really sharp people to ask questions of. So looking for someone in Wealth Counsel is a good idea. So that's good. But the two things that set me apart from those people in Wealth Counsel is one, I concierge to my clients. So I come to you. I got rid of the office before that was popular with COVID, and it's been a really good business model. The second one is most attorneys are going to hand you, I kid you not, the standard form is 14 pages long, a document that you fill out as your intake paperwork. I don't make you fill out any paperwork. The only paperwork you will ever do is to sign your name or put your initials or a date. That is all. You will never fill out paperwork with me. I don't like the paperwork. First of all, it's a hindrance to people ever finishing the paperwork to have that appointment, which allows them to procrastinate more than they already did to do the appointment and to begin with. And second, there are things that I learn in an interview with you that I can't get from a piece of paper.
Gotcha.
For example, your kids' names and birth dates. That seems obvious enough on an intake form. But if I ask, tell me about your kids, and I say you, ah, well, that's a whole different conversation than a name and a birth date. And I would
Right.
never get that off your form.
Gotcha. Oh, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
So, yeah.
Well, since we're live on Facebook, I have to welcome my friend Sherry. She's watching us right now. So
Oh, hi,
thanks for being
Sherry.
on, Sherry. And anyone else who's on, make a comment so we can see you. Anywho, well, okay, Heidi. So what is the best? I love that what you do, because it is doing an interview instead. Obviously, you can get the body language from people, and that is a
Mhm.
huge deal. So what states can you write wills and trusts in? Are you just in Arizona, or can you go all over?
Right now, I'm just Arizona. If I
Okay.
had enough demand to do Florida, I could reactivate my license in Florida because I passed the
Okay.
bar there as well. But at this point, I haven't had demand enough to justify that. So I've been just Arizona. I
Okay.
can serve all of Arizona with remote appointments, but if you live anywhere in the Greater Valley area, and I'm talking Apache Junction all the way over to um, I don't know, far
Sun
west.
City, Sun City
I can't
West. We'll say Sun
Yeah, there
City.
you go. Oh, well, Sun City's not even that far. Yeah, absolutely. Anywhere in the Greater Valley, I will come to you.
Nice.
So that's yeah,
That
helpful.
is excellent. Well, what's the easiest way for people to contact you?
Okay. So you can reach me so many ways. If you put in lifeguarding legacies into Google, you will find me on every platform just about out there. You can find me that way. You can call my front desk and a live person will answer 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 602-529-1827. You can also text me on that same number, and that comes directly to my cell phone if you text me. You can go into live chat on my website at lifeguardinglegacies.com, or you can see all over the website there's schedule an appointment here, and it'll take you to a page where you can schedule an appointment. I try to make it as easy as I know how. So, whatever your favorite way is to reach me, I promise you can find me there.
Nice. Well, that is so awesome. Well, Heidi, you've been a wealth of information just in the short 12 minutes that we've been on. And I know people, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Heidi so that way you can get your questions answered, because it is vital to make sure that you do have a will and a trust, and to make sure that you and your family are protected, because we never know when it's our last day. So make sure that don't say, oh, I'll do it in a month, I'll do it in 3 months or 6 months. It might be too late. We never
Can I
know.
Can I
Yes.
add to that just real quickly? So I can tell you, when I started my practice pre-COVID, I could go to a hospital bedside and sit with someone and do an 11th hour plan. Now, with the visiting policies at hospitals, I can't do 11th hour planning anymore. So what Janice said is absolutely right. Don't procrastinate it anymore. Get it done. You just can't count on 11th hour planning anymore.
Yeah. And we just, like I said, we just never know. And is it fun to do? No, it's not. I didn't find it fun to put all my stuff together. It's not. However, the cool thing is, once you're finished, you have it all in one spot. And whether for your spouse, and that's one thing I love is my husband and I do have our will and trust put together. It's in a binder. I've told my husband, if something happens to me, you go here. Everything is in there for him to get into accounts, to get into who to contact for this, that, and the other. And it just helps you get into have one location for everything. It just makes you feel so much more comfortable knowing it's done. And I'm
And
so it's
I
thankful it's
agree,
done.
110% agree. Having that binder with everything all in one place is
Mhm.
huge. My clients will also have access to an online portal that they can get to their documents from any device and even share that with people who act for them on that behalf. So it's tremendous peace of mind knowing that you've got everything taken care of and you don't have to think about or worry about what would happen if.
Right, exactly. And then, yeah, if your loved one passes away, you're not thinking clearly either. And so this way, at least you have something that you can guide you to help you think more clearly, and at least
Mhm.
be like, okay, here's my little checklist of what I have to get through, but whatever. Everyone, make sure you take care of this. So Heidi, thank you so much for coming on with me and sharing your business with everybody. And I will talk to you everyone soon.
Thank you, Janice.